Yo, Pierre, you want to come out here?
Welcome to What Dat Mouf Do. This is an original program where we invite amazing and talented human beings onto the show and interview them on their amazing skills, many of which involve their mouths. This program is going to be a show where we get to know each other and really get to the bottom of what that mouth do. Our very first guest on the show just so happens to be Manhattan College's very own Cameron Cullen. Cameron, it's a pleasure to have you.
Hey Ramsey, thank you very much for having me on. It's an honor to be on your first ever episode of What That Mouth Do here on MCTV.
Right. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. You may not know the answer to these questions, but that's perfectly fine.
Sure.
So, first question right now, what that mouth do?
What that mouth do? You know, it makes words, and words just come out of your mouth sometimes. Sometimes it's sense, sometimes it's not.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah.
Nowadays, there's a lot of nonsense. You know, whether it be on media, a lot of nonsense going on. You kind of got to navigate through the nonsense to get to the bottom of things.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of my interpretation of what that mouth do. You know, not necessarily words, just a lot of sounds.
Okay, all right, I like that. I know you do impersonations.
A little bit.
So I want to know where those impersonations originated from.
Sure.
So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I think it really, for me, all started as a freshman in high school. I was part of the golf team, and you know, in middle school I was playing, you know, football, basketball, baseball. Didn't really feel up for that in high school, so I went out for golf, and I wasn't all that good. So I spent a lot of time waiting on the short bus, as the other people, you know, played their rounds. So I had a lot of time on my hands, and at the time I was just kind of messing around with impersonations. I had a friend on the team who actually could do a really good impersonation from the show Family Guy.
Yeah.
And I was kind of a little envious of that guy. Well, how do you do that? It's like spot on.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I had all that time on the short bus, and I was like, all right, well, let me just practice the impersonations.
Of course.
And that's pretty much how I got the ball rolling, how it started.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was in high school, right?
Yeah, freshman year of high school.
And you have been doing that impersonation for all these years, and even now, it's still something that you have in your arsenal that you can say, yeah, I know this voice, I know how to do it.
Yeah, I think so. And I think what's really important about doing impersonations is also knowing the context behind it. Like, it's cool to kind of ad-lib your impersonations, but in order to really get to hit that home with the audience or who you're talking with, you want to get, like, you know, the slogans, what the actual person said. So if you can impersonate not only the vocals there of what's actually coming out of my mouth, but also the exact words that we heard on that given show or whatever it is, kind of adds, it makes the whole feeling come across a little bit better, I think.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
How do you think you look when you do an impersonation? Do you think you look cool? Do you think you look stupid? And like, how do you feel when you're doing it?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think it's, for me personally, I think it's a way just to be comedic, personally, and it works.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm kind of a dry guy as it is, like initially, you know, but like when you start messing with voices and you're able to copy someone else, that's kind of my own play on it. And how do I feel? I mean, it makes me feel pretty good. I mean, I'm not gonna like do it like on a, you know, to a random stranger or like some person I just met or anything like that. Like, it's something I do around my friends.
Yeah.
I have to be comfortable before
I'd
really go ahead and do an impersonation early on. I think nowadays I get to know my setting a little bit better and I can really just let it loose at will.
What would you say is probably the best reaction you've gotten from doing your impersonations, or what's the funniest reaction you've gotten? And describe that a little bit to me.
Sure. Like I was saying, like I kind of got started with doing impersonations a little bit. And one of the best ways that I was able to really mess people up was actually prank calling friends.
Oh.
Yeah. And that was awesome.
Yeah.
I got some of the best reactions, just like, you know, as a kid, you're on Xbox and you're in a party with all of your friends or whatever, and you call someone else who's not around, and you'll keep it, you know, who's actually not in the party, and you give them a phone call.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And you leave it on the mic.
Yeah.
So the whole time that I'm doing this, I do like a star, whatever, like you star
67,
something
like
whatever
that.
it is.
Yeah.
It's an anonymous number, so the person picks up. And back in the day, people fell for that.
Yeah.
You know, this was before iPhones still. We had flip phones and whatnot, so they were falling for that. And I was able to get some really good reactions, and people did not know what the heck was going on. And I was responsible for it, so it made me feel pretty good.
That actually sounds hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm kind of mad I wasn't there when that happened because I would have been dying.
Yeah.
So the world wants to know, Cam, can you do the impersonation on What Dat Mouf do right now?
I can, sure.
So what I want you to do is just tell me a story or tell me a joke or anything you feel comfortable with using your impersonation right now.
Okay. I'll look into the camera for this.
Of course.
So the character that I'm really good at impersonating, I guess, over the years, or at least people tell me I'm good at, I just kind of do it. It comes from the show Family Guy, a guy named Herb the Perv. So I, like I said earlier, I kind of can do like some really good sound bites from him. So you want me to, I'll go ahead and do that first.
Yeah.
So I could be like, so if I'm calling my friend, my friend would pick up and be like, hello, and I'd be like, yes, who? And then who is this? And then I'd be like, as Herb,
Just wondered where the must-read newspaper boy was. Just wondered if he could come by and bring me some good news.
So you get the whole tonality of it, and then you're able to tell your story if you want.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, me and my dog Jesse were doing a quick walk down the block, and we just realized that, you left your newspaper out there. I just wondered if you could go ahead and you could get that and pick it up. Because Jesse doesn't eat the newspapers like he used to. Now he just uses it when he lays down, and, that's his business.
Yeah, it's that kind of nonsense. You run with it. And obviously there's like no, you wonder about the direction.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird, but that's it. That's Herb the Perv. Another one I used to be pretty good at was the movie trailer impersonator guy.
Yeah.
I don't know how it really comes out now. I'll give it a shot.
Give it a shot. We want to hear it.
Sure. Okay, so.
In a world where you have to fight to survive, he sold tortillas on the corner, and the mob wanted in.
It's kind of like that, it's the Don LaFontaine, like,
oh yeah, coming soon.
It's nasally, and it comes from the back. And you practice it more, and you can mess around with it. I could kind of used to do Optimus Prime, very similar to like that movie theater dude, but I mean, I lost that.
Don't tell me that, Cam.
Like, yeah, it's not pretty.
It's not worth it.
Like,
Maybe
Autobots, assemble and roll out. Like, no, it's a little too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think impersonation has a place, and for comedy, and it always will. And it's interesting to see where it's going to go in the future. And I think it's cool, especially with impersonating, like in post-production. I think that's a really awesome element you can play with in your own videos and your own creative work.
Yeah.
Is that, and I think from here on out, with my own personal content, whatever it is, I like to take advantage of that.
That's actually a really great take. Thank you, Cam. And thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah.
That's unfortunately all the time that we have for today's episode. But please tune in next time as we'll have another amazing individual coming onto the show and showcasing their talents. Most likely will be involving their mouth. I'm Ramsey Kyle Parra. Thanks for tuning in.